guys, and welcome to another Mad Chili video. Today, it is a brand new season here on iRacing, week number 1, season 1, 2021. There's a lot of ones there. But anyway, I mean, it's not quite 2021 yet, but it's the new season. So, well, so far I've been trying a couple of new series this week. I've had the VRS GT Sprint. I did that this morning, and it wasn't that good. I'm not that quick in a GT3 car. Unfortunately, I lost a little bit of iRacing. It would have been okay if I hadn't lost it. Also, it doesn't help that it's round Spa. I lost a ton of safety rating just from running ever so slightly wide. I absolutely hate Spa. I'm not going back there on this game ever again. But we're at Long Beach in the Audi touring car. This is one of the, it's a TCR class car, fixed setup, 15-minute race. It's one of the ones that one of the cars that I bought along with Long Beach this year. I thought, you know, let's give it a go. So I'm actually, pace-wise, alright. I've been able to get into the low 29s, and I think I'll be able to get to 28s, which is what I'm aiming for. I'll be able to get 28s, because I had a bit of damage on the car when I did the 29.1, because I was still practicing, obviously. So we'll see, you know, I'm number 8, 16, 17 people in the field, so half that we have about, so if we finish about top 8, we should be good on iRacing. My iRating's a little inflated at the moment, as right at the end of last season, I took part in the Pontiac around, what do you call it, Watkins Glen, and since I was very quick in that car, and since I was only often against 1 or 2 people, I was just gaining 30 or 40 iRating at a time, a lot. So my iRating probably gained a good 200 in that week, so I think that's 200 iRating points that maybe I shouldn't have gained. So we'll see how I am here. It's totally fixed setup. It's a very cool track, this Long Beach. At the moment there are a couple of shortcuts to make your laps quicker. Whether they will still be there in the coming weeks, I don't know, because there are a couple of track shortcuts that are definitely a little bit iffy. This one in particular, you can actually just look at that. There you go, totally cut it. Massive cut. At Spa, that would probably be an off track as well as a slowdown. Normally, it would probably just be a slowdown. So at Spa, the track limits are very, very fussy for some reason. But it should at least be a slowdown now. I don't think you should be allowed to take the corner like that. Same with this one, maybe. You can actually totally cut across the apex, and you're fine. So there are a couple of little cheats here and there that are allowed. Again, whether that will still be allowed in the future, you never know. This car is quite weird to drive, because unlike any other car in iRacing, obviously it's the only touring car on the platform. It's very understeery, because it's front-wheel drive, I guess. I'm pretty sure it is. It feels like it is. And I'm almost 100% sure that it's four-wheel drive. So, no, not four-wheel drive. What am I on about? Front-wheel drive. Meaning that generally, if you're on the power, you're going straight on. That's kind of how it works in this car. As soon as you get on any kind of power, you may think it's quicker in a lot of cars to go on the power early. In this car, no, it's not the case. Oh dear! Oh, I've got a bit of damage now from my laps. That ain't good. Luckily, it doesn't invalidate your lap. It also doesn't count as any incident points. Little taps on the wall, but they do ruin your lap a bit. You can see it cost me about a second there, and it's also got damage on the car, which is the worst thing. So my laps won't be that good. So you know, my pace around here is actually alright. I believe it's a standing start this series, so we shouldn't have some of the carnage that you get first lap Long Beach with rolling start. I've actually been watching some, you know, like iRacing highlights, and many streamers have had issues with, well, on rolling starts here, people tend to get, for some reason, stuck in the last corner, the hairpin, which you go through on a rolling start. Yeah, people get stuck there, and you end up with gigantic crashes and massive incidents. Because people don't know how to take that corner properly, even on a rolling start. So we just need to sit here, because we've ruined this lap already with the bashing into the wall. So the slowdown there, that's what I find weird as well. You get a slowdown for cutting that part of the track, and yet the very blatant cut like, what was it, like the 4th or 5th corner? Maybe it's a bit further than that. But that's not a slowdown, so I think they do need to fix that. Either make that last one not a slowdown, or that one that's a blatant cut a slowdown. I think they're probably going to patch it. I don't know when the first proper update is coming of this new season, but I'm sure it'll be patched eventually, knowing iRacing. I mean, because look at that. I mean, that is such a blatant cut, isn't it? I mean, I literally cut like half a curb and they're okay with it. This lap hasn't actually been that quick. Although on my practice lap, on that 129.3, I didn't have a very good exit out of there, so remember, we do have damage as well, so that's going to slightly factor into our lap time here. You can see down a straight, maybe we are a little bit down on pace. What kind of laps are people setting? So you can see here, look, really I would like to be in the 128s. However, I'm sure with an undamaged car, I would be capable of a 128. Also, you know, with a bit more practice. I've had about 15 minutes practice, so I'm pretty happy with that level of practice. Because I actually seem quite quick in this car, so we go across, and even with a little bit of damage, learning that middle sector a bit more on this lap, so it's going to be across the line, it's going to be a 129.4, but for some reason, it hasn't counted. Why? I didn't have any incidents on that lap, did I? I didn't, did I? Did I hit something that would have invalidated my lap? I don't think I did. Did I hit anything there? No hit there. I mean, that could have been a cut track, like an off track, but I didn't get an off track. Right, did I run over that blue line on entry? That also gets you an invalidation. No? I didn't hit anything there. Okay, that may be a bug. I mean, it was only a 129.4, so it would have put us 11th. And we're probably going to line up about 13th, but that's a little bit weird. I didn't hit anything, did I? We'll keep an eye on it, because there is a contact there, but I'm pretty sure that was earlier. That would have been okay. We didn't hit the wall, but there. Yeah, it didn't register for some reason. That's really strange. And I didn't have a slowdown going onto the lap. Oh! I wonder if that was the contact. I mean, it was very light, but I wonder if that was the contact. It's a very tidy lap, actually. Not the quickest, because we had a bit of damage on the car, but we didn't hit anything else, so that's really disappointing, though, that is, because I thought that was a really good lap, you know? I mean, it wasn't top-notch pace, but we didn't hit anything. It must have been that little thing we hit, because that wasn't a cut. We didn't get a slowdown for that. That's okay, going slightly over there. Did we hit the last corner? No, we didn't. So, that might be a bug. That's really weird. We're going to line up P14, I think, rather than P12, so it only cost us 2 positions in the end anyway. We didn't have any incidents in qualifying, so obviously, yeah, that's really strange. We're going to be focusing on safety rating in this race. My iRating, I've learnt now in iRacing, the safety rating is what matters, because that's what limits what you can do. Like, once I'm A-class, I can do everything. It doesn't matter what my iRating is, I can do everything. I could be super unsafe and be at the front, and have, I could be really unsafe, be at the front, and get 6,000 iRating. That wouldn't happen. But even if I did, I'm Class D. Doesn't make any difference whether I have 6,000 iRating or 600 iRating. It doesn't matter. You know, the iRating is a little bit random anyway, because if you fail to connect to a server, or if you have a bad race and you end up in the pits, or something like that, or just so happens that somebody, say, car number 17, goes out and wins, that'll knock my finishing position a little bit back. It'll knock my iRating, because they did well. However, safety rating is pretty much based on what I do. It's based on how safe I am. I mean, occasionally someone might hit me, and that might be 4 incidents, but things like off tracks and whatever, they're my responsibility. Awesome. It is a standing start, which I like. This is a standing start. Yeah, standing start's awesome. P14 in the end, and we would have been P12. without that issue. Remember, we need to finish really in the top 8. And you can see, look, a 128 would have been enough to get that kind of thing. So, you know, I reckon I'm capable of a 28. I mean, even a 28.5 would have been enough to secure me. Even a 28.6, look, would have been enough to secure me P7. And all we need is the top 8. So, you know, and that's only about, you know, 4/10 quicker. I mean, remember, I had a damaged car as well, so I think I should be capable of that by the end of the race. That's what we're going to be looking for by the end of the race then, is me to be able to set a 128 of sorts. But so far, driving this car, it's really fun. It's like the BMW series, where you have very tight racing, quite slow cars in comparison to GT3, Formula 1, that kind of thing. But, at the same time, you know, it's not like the Pontiac, where you have really, you know, the Pontiac's a very nice car, but there's no one driving in it. And then the BMW, again, this is what I'm going back to my point earlier, it's like the BMW series, this, but the cars are more manageable. I mean, spinning this is very difficult.
15 minutes.
Spinning the BMW is quite easy.
26
now this thing has a base RPM, so we can just floor it on the start.
Go!
Oh no, man, we can't floor it on the start. I thought we could. Turns out we can't floor it on the start. I thought we could literally just floor it on the start because it had a set RPM, like in a rallycross car, but that ain't the case. So we're back, right to the back.
Alright.
Obviously, we were starting basically the back anyway. There's only 17 cars in this field, and one of them hasn't made it onto the grid.
Keep it steady, still there. Right side's clear.
Right, I'm gonna have to just go to the back here. I don't want to get too involved in all this carnage, to be honest. There's bound to be some collisions. And in a 15-minute race, quite short, even if you do have a fast repair, the safety rating is a big aspect of these short races. If you get even one little ding, it can hurt your safety rating, because the race is obviously so short, you don't have a chance to build up enough corners to even out the starts that may have gone wrong. Unlike in, say, the VRS series or something, where you can have a crazy start, but then because there's still 40 minutes of a race left, you can say, you know, you can build it back up, but you can't do that in the 15-minute series. It's a bit longer than the BMW series. That's only 12 minutes.
On your left. You're clear on the left side. He's on your left side. Still there. Clear left.
Gonna make a move there. Squeeze that person out a little bit. That's because this thing's understeer is quite horrendous. It's the only thing I don't like about this car. Now, I was wondering if people would end up getting stuck there, and I blinked out at the worst possible moment. We've got a good exit here.
Left side.
On someone.
He's still there.
So, overall, it's been a pretty decent first lap. We started 14th, has a bad start, but then we've reclaimed those two. And we've got 3 more people stuck there. We knew something crazy would happen. There's the craziness that we were wanting. And it's going to take those people a long time to get themselves dug out of that mess, I think. We're leaving the person behind, so this has been quite a good start then. We're up to, I think, P11 now. What with those people being off, because we were 15th along the line, across the line, but we hadn't passed that person behind us yet. So that's 14, and we passed 3 who had that mishap, so yeah, 11th. So 11th, you know, it's still not positive iRacing, but we're getting close to it, and obviously we're nowhere near the end yet. There's going to be some chaos. I mean, these two ahead are fighting, so you never know. Going into the hairpin, maybe someone gets a bit greedy, misses their braking point, I don't know. But something is bound to happen. Oh, that was a bit of a stupid thing by me. Honestly, I hate these things. This car, first and second gear is basically useless. It's one thing that I don't like. And so let's get a confirmation of where we are. Yes, P11. But yeah, first and second gear coming out that hairpin. You need first gear to get the turning. But then it's useless from there. Oh, past somebody else there, so that's into P10. However, that person didn't really have much of a mishap, although the person they're battling, so that's good. That buys me a bit more time. So P10 now, thanks to the mishaps of others. Oh, and this person hit a wall ahead. Let's try and capitalise on that. We got a good run. However, they don't want to concede that position, so we'll have to give that up. The car that we passed for P10, the one that crashed, that's now behind me. However, now I've got a good exit out of there, so we're going to get a move on now. This will be for P9. We're going to get the job done nicely here.
Keep it together. Hold your line. Clear left. Good job, buddy.
Nice one, Morgan. Nice move, mate.
So that's decent. We're getting some good moves. This is what I like about this touring car. You have actually really nice racing. I mean, personally, I find it much more difficult than this to make moves in the BMW, but in this car, I don't know why, but I just have that confidence to just send it up the inside. It's very good. So we're up into P9, which would be getting on for positive iRacing. So that's really good. What we need to do now is push away before that guy who crashed gets past that other guy and then comes after us, although it looks like something else has happened to him because he's now 2.5 seconds away. So that's positive for us. So what we need to do now is push away, try and set some fast laps. Don't hit the wall, don't make mistakes like that, and then we'll see if we can do anything about catching this group ahead of us. Because the gap behind is now at 1.2 seconds, so that's good. Also, there will be people coming in the end of the race. Some of the people who had incidents at the start obviously may have used their fast repair and then come back through the field. So we've got to be careful of that later in the race. However, you know, there's not going to be too long left soon, is there? It's only a 15-minute race. Honestly, I'm so glad I bought this car. You know, this is my first race in this series. That was a bit stupid. Yeah.
Just done it. 127.13.
I've seen people do that, and yeah, it's quite easy to do. It turns out, just slam it into the wall of that hairpin. That hairpin is an evil corner. You can see they're only at 1 minute 30.1. So weirdly, we're going very slow compared to the qualifying. Although we're still pulling away from the cars behind. So we're obviously not that slow. We're out of 17 cars. We're only 16 started. We're P9. So obviously doing something right. You know, and a lot of those, you know, a good 2 or 3 of those have been genuine moves. They haven't just been picking up from collisions. We are actually closing on the person behind a little bit. Car number 13, so they may be a little bit slow. I just need to get some good laps in. Because compared to qualifying, these laps have been a little bit slow. But the gap behind, it was 1.2 seconds this time around. No, last time around in this sport, it's now 2.2 seconds, so we're making good gains on the cars behind. Car ahead gap is still 4.5 seconds, so looks like that's staying about the same unless we, you know, consider we pick up the pace.
Okay, Morgan, halfway home.
But then yeah, just shifting to third. Yeah, you can see I'm rubbish at that hairpin. I do lose a bit of time out of there. 8th place is actually pulling away a little bit. That was a 29.3 though, so the laps...
129.34.
The lap times in clean air are a bit better. I'd like to try and get a 28 before we're done. And so this corner here though is so awesome. In these touring cars, it's really nice. It's not so nice in you know, that corner in faster cars is a bit more dodgy. However, in these cars, it's awesome fun. Gap behind is still about 2 seconds actually. I think someone else has actually been released. That's why the gap's no longer going up like it was before. Someone else did get passed for 10th place. So if I can try and maintain 9th here, I'll be happy. Because that car behind has definitely got a bit of pace on us. Although, saying that, car number 5, the one that had that issue, has now been released as well, so if that can fight... If car 5 can fight with car 12, and allow me kind of to get away almost, it'd be nice.
Fastest lap for Harris, 126.84.
Let's try second gear out here. Yeah, still the car just wheel spins. It's horrendous. I still can't get it right. 10th place didn't really, it closed on us maybe like 0.2 of a second that lap. That lap was a 29.2, so the laps
It's getting closer.
are getting better all the time. Someone was in the pits there. 4th place was in the pits. I think we went past them before the line, so it didn't register. There they are. That person up there disconnected. I'm pretty sure they were in 4th. Maybe I read that wrong, but they weren't a lap down, so it must have been 4th, which puts us into 8th. So that's amazing if that really does put us into 8th. Because after all this, we can actually gain iRacing, providing we keep this other person behind us. There's only 5 minutes left, so that's a possibility. Just need to drive these remaining laps good. Need to try and get as much speed out of this car as I can.
Morgan, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
Because they are definitely catching me. Car number 12 is slowly but surely catching me. The gap ahead is only grown by about a second since I was released, so not a lot. Hasn't grown a lot, just a little bit. Yeah, gap behind, look at that, it comes down so much in this bit. Oh, I'm so bad at that hairpin though, that's the bit I have issues with, look at that. The gap behind just absolutely crumbles there. That lap was a little bit slower. We are up to P8 though.
Just ignore him, he'll go away. P8.
That's not quite how it works, Jim. Jim's the crew chief, by the way. Yeah, he's like, just ignore him, they'll go away. That's not quite how things work on iRacing. I know there's quite a few collisions frequently, but it's not quite that simple, sadly. However, because they are putting pressure on me, I am trying to go a bit quicker. Oh, who's this?
The guy behind
P5 on the side of the racetrack there. So we're up into P7 now with that. That's amazing. Well, I'm actually, this lap, the gap behind stayed about the same. However, they definitely going to try me in that hairpin because I'm so slow there. Yeah, they actually hit me in that hairpin. That's how slow I am by that hairpin. They actually physically hit me. The thing is, you can't make a move there, so they actually end up getting a worse exit themselves. That was a 29.1, so the lap times are creeping down a little bit. Remember, we do have a bit of damage as well. I think we did clonk the wall at least once, didn't we? Couldn't have that hairpin, I think we did. So that's good. I'm going through this twistier section as well, that's what helps. Even if I'm not so good at the later section of the lap with the faster corners, followed by the hairpin, I'm actually quite good at this section of the lap. Although he's actually got a bit of a run on me this time. I don't really know what I did differently, but he has a run. He's going to try a dive, which in cars this slow doesn't really do anything. A dive.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
If anything, he's opening himself for attack from the Audi behind. Yeah, the pressure's definitely on here in the last few laps. There's only just over a minute and a half remaining, so it's probably this lap. I don't know, there might be this one, another one, and then another one after that.
0.82.
I mean, some people are doing 126s, I don't know how they're doing that. There we go, we've got a much better exit out of that hairpin that time. And we're actually starting to pull away from them a little bit on that exit, so that's good. What was that lap then? Oh, it was a lot slower.
129.75.
Interesting.
Sector 1 is 1.5 seconds off the pace.
Don't know what we did that was so much slower. I mean, I'll be very happy with P7 if this is where we turn out to finish. Very happy. Well, I have got a queue of about 3 cars behind me, so I'm obviously not that quick. Ouch! Alright, well there's the nice safety rating gone, because that person just decided that I'd had enough, and they decided that they wanted to just bosh me, which is fair enough. I mean, they're fighting now, so I'm okay with that. I mean, he'd have had 4x as well, and in fact, it's made my life a little bit easier, because they're now a whole second behind. Because by boshing me, he's actually just left himself open to attack from behind, so don't really know what he was doing there. It was maybe not the best piece of driving in the world. I mean, I did block a little bit, although what, perfectly allowed to do that. It is touring car racing after all. Car number 9 has actually come from 10th place to be near all of them. However, their fighting has now meant they're a whole second and a half behind me. So we're on low fuel apparently.
About 9 minutes of fuel left. 1.5 litres per lap.
Because I was saying low fuel, but apparently I've got 9 minutes left. So I don't think that's quite low fuel. I mean, saying that, these cars do endurance races. I wouldn't fancy doing an endurance race in a touring car, however, they are a feature in the iRacing's endurance series, these cars. Someone else is disconnected. I don't know where they were in terms of position. However, the guys behind have actually... in terms of time, they haven't really closed on me that much, so that's nice. Obviously, the 4 incident points is a bit disappointing, however, my safety rating is very high at the moment, what with it being 15 minutes as well rather than 12. It's a little bit safer,
2 minutes to go.
and obviously this track being very corner heavy as well. But on this last lap, actually, we have actually stretched the gap. No, the gaps remained the same to the car behind, and obviously they were chasing us down before. I'm so bad out that hairpin though, I just lost a good 2 or 3 tenths of a second there. However, car number 12 and car number 5 that were right behind us, nowhere near us there, and it was only a 29.4 that last lap.
7th position. That's the finish.
And there we go,
Well done.
P7, I'll take that. That'll be an increase in iRating, I think. So that's really impressive. We'll park up there. There we go, across the line. Look at that. I mean, showing about the 4 incidents. He did give us a little bit of a bosh. 30 seconds back from the leaders, though, in just 16 minutes. Which maybe isn't the best. Although, their numbers 1, 2, and 3. So I'll have a look at their iRating now. But I imagine it's very high. Oh, we've got maintenance coming up. Okay. Also, I had a go at this iRacing Street Stock series earlier. I was actually leading for ages, up until the point where somebody decided just to punt me out the way. So you can see I had 68 laps, and then this car number 7 just decided nope, and punted me off. Luckily, there's a lot of cautions in that one, but I still managed to finish fairly high up in the end. It was a bit disappointing that, but I just got punted, so there's nothing you can do. Right, Long Beach. So we did lose a little bit of safety rating in the end. I would rather it didn't dip below 4, because that's going to lose us a lot. However, the safety rating is very high at the moment. B-Class 4.02 is equivalent to A-Class 3.02, so it's quite a high safety rating. But I'd rather it didn't dip any. So you can see that 4 incidents is all I had, and that was enough still to dip it. We gained 20 iRating though, so that's nice. You can see there, look at that. I mean, car 1, 8,000 iRating, car 2 getting on for 6,000, car 3, 5,600, so yeah, those 3 were very high up on the iRating list. So So in the end, you know, my times, you know, the 1:29.1, you can see some of the people who are, I was the slowest in that entire field apart from one person. So I do need to work on the lap times there. I had a bit of damage, obviously, but it's no excuse. I mean, in the end of it, though, it doesn't really matter what the lap times were. Our average lap time was higher, so in the end, that's kind of all that counts, really. I mean, I would like to be getting into those 128s. It's really where I need to be. Maybe 128.5s, 128.4s. However, you know, as I said, my rating's a little bit inflated at the moment anyway. So, I'll kind of take that. But anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this one. Also, yeah, don't expect to see a video from the VRS GT Sprint series for quite a while, as I actually hate Spa. It's got so many off-track potentials. I mean, just look at a race. Just take an example race, so 4 PM, split 2, for example. You can see incidents. Look at that. I mean, the average incidence is what? 12? Let's say there's a lot of people with 12. And that's the issue. That track's terrible. I mean, also I'm quite slow. My best lap time was like a 2:20, which in this particular race would have got me probably around 15th. Out of 30, which is okay, but that's split 2. Although, I don't think I would have been split 2 if I'd done that. Because split 1 has much better guys in it. But then you can see even in split 3, a 2:20 is quite slow. But then obviously split 9, I mean, even in split 9, you've got somebody doing 2:19s. So it does need looking at that. It was partially setup related. I didn't have a proper setup, but yeah, I don't like Spa. And then there isn't a free track I get. Well, it's not a free track. I bought Spa. They don't go to a track that I have, a free track, until Oran Park week 6. I don't like Oran Park, so I probably won't be doing VRS GT Sprint until week 8 and week 9. Week 8 they go to Laguna Seca. I like that track. Week 9 though, Alton Park. I really like Alton Park. And then week 12, Suzuka. I don't know how quick I am around Suzuka, but I have it. Also, the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge. Lots of tracks that I can do this season. In fact, I can do weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. And then that's it. Then I can't do 9, 10, 11, or 12. So there's quite a few. There's quite a bit of choice there. So that's good. Obviously, the iRacing Street Stock Series, I'll be doing plenty of that this season. Almost certainly at Southern National this week. They go to a road course. I especially bought Legacy Texas so I could try that out. USA International Speedway as well. Thompson, sort of South Boston, US, you know. They go to quite a few good little tracks. So that should be pretty fun. I was really enjoying Southern National today. But overall, there's quite a bit coming up for this season on iRacing. On top of that, you know what? Let's just favourite all the series that I can do, apart from the Fanatec Global Challenge. I don't really like those cars. In fact, you know, I don't think it's worth highlighting half of them. Now I'm thinking about it, that's why I didn't highlight them in the first place. But in terms of actual road series, we'll have to also try out the Rallycross. Obviously, the new Rallycross circuits. Going to have to give that a go at some point. Obviously, there is the Advanced Mazda Cup series as well. They do some pretty nice races, don't they? They do some 45-minute ones every now and then. So maybe it'd be worth doing that. I think. I mean, 45 minutes. Although I can't really do many. I don't own any of these 45-minuters. In fact, this season I could do week 1, week 3. I hate Okayama. But I don't like Spa, to be honest. I don't think I'll be going to Spa anytime soon. But anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this one. Please comment down below what you kind of want me to do this season on iRacing. I've got a lot of choice. Because I've discovered iRacing actually, once you buy, I haven't bought that much content. Maybe I've spent just over £100, which is, obviously it lasts forever. You know, which is not too bad considering I'll be earning, you know, I'm going to try and do each of these series. I'm going to try and do 3 series, so probably the, you know, probably the fixed Ferraris, the SLPCC, which is this, the Similar Production Car Challenge, and the Touring Car Challenge. I'll try and do them. The Touring Car Challenge is the TRTCC, because they're now sponsored by Turn Racing. Very cool little look on the calendar, the Touring Car Challenge this season. So they're going to submit point. They do go to Spa, so maybe won't go there. But Lime Rock, they go to. I absolutely love Lime Rock Park, so I'll definitely be taking full advantage if anything goes to Lime Rock Park. BMW series is actually there next week, so I'll probably use as much as I can out of that. Seeing my production car challenge doesn't go to line wonk this season, actually. Anyway, guys, hope you really enjoyed this one. I hope to see you in the next one, and bye!